Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I hope all of you are doing good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Sorry, I shared the wrong file. Just a second. This file. Have you read the case?
Yes, sir.
Don't say no, please. No, please.
That's why I said yes, sir.
And please, don't say only yes because you want to say. You have to say yes. Please come prepared. Otherwise,
I read half of the
Sir,
case.
actually, we had 2 assignments submission today.
you will have to get used to this, beta. You will have to get used to this. The MBA programs are always like this, always very tight, right? So you will have to get used to this. Plus, we would not take the discussion to another level because then what happens? If if you have not read the case, I will share details about the case and what has happened in the case, and then we wouldn't be able to discuss maybe
No,
the
sir.
accounting part.
We read the case. We read the case, but was not
It's a
fully.
2-page. Okay, it's a 2-page case and it's a very simple case. It talks about
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
it does not have significant information. Only two, three things are there that should be discussed. Otherwise, everything is fine. Fine. I believe all of you have read the case. Let us just wait for a minute and then I can ask you what is there in the case. So in the meantime, you can gather information about what is so unique about this case, what is happening in this case, what are the facts of this case. You can share with me.
Good morning, sir.
Who is this? Ayush Pandey? No. Sparsh is there? Sparsh? Sparsh. Good morning, beta. Good morning. And, I don't know how many students have joined the class. Let me just announce that on Monday we are planning to have a quiz. I'm not giving the time right now because I need to discuss that with the other faculties. I will share the time maybe through WhatsApp or I'll mail you. So this Monday you can expect a quiz from our side. And second, I have already uploaded the case Camelite Incorporation. So I would request you to read that case. So after this case, some level of difficulty would be added into what we have been doing so far. Please come prepared, right? Camelite is a wonderful case and it has a lot of aspects in terms of how the business runs and what kind of expenses they have and how they can use those expenses maybe to look at those expenses maybe to show profit in a different way, right?
Sir?
So please note that. Yes.
Sir, for submitting FAR assignment on 5th, by what time should we submit it?
I think the time is locked in the system. I think you can see the time when you open the assignment, right? Please check that. I think I have put. I don't want to comment right now because then otherwise that would become a statement. I think no, I should not share. You should check. I think you should check because if I say something, it would become a deadline.
Sir, it is in well afternoon.
Yes, some of the students are requesting me for mock quiz. So let me talk to the co-faculty, very senior faculty we have teaching in section C and D. So I will ask him because I cannot take the quiz for 2 sections only, right? I will not promise right now, but I will definitely talk to the faculty. And anyways, if you want to see what kind of questions can come, you can look at the textbook. This textbook is amazing in terms of questions one could have. So look at the review problems, look at the problems given at the back. Probably it is going to be objective, but I will still inform you. Let me talk to the faculty because I have not made the paper yet. Yes, Dheeraj, yes.
So what you said about
So are you talking about the textbook reference mentioned?
Sorry?
Which textbook are you talking about, sir?
We have only one textbook, right?
Okay, yes.
Don't get confused, beta. We have the other. You are getting only one textbook from the college. If you have got multiple, then you are lucky. It is only one book, Narayan Swami. That's it. R. Narayan Swami. Yes.
What did you said about the difficulty level?
But I did not mention anything about the difficult level. I think you misunderstood understood something.
All right.
Okay. Fine. It's 11:22. Let us start the class. So, guys, tell me what is really happening in this case. What is this case all about? Tell me. Yes, it's a very simple case.
Try, sir.
Very basic information. Yes, please. Anyone, please join.
Sir,
Yes.
Abhinav here.
Yes,
Sir, in this case, what happens? This lady who's there, initially she lost 2 jobs, and in spite of the talent that she possessed, like web designing and stuff, she was believing in her abilities, and she felt like she was confident carrying on a job of her own. But when she performed certain actions like paying her bills, transferring all the savings to account, I felt like this was the decisions whatever she has made was not practical. It was like by her she was carried away by her abilities, not realizing the reality. And usually, when somebody loses two jobs, people end up being conservative approach, but she took the risky approach. Hence,
Okay.
this is what I observed, sir.
Abhinav, very good participation. Anyone else, please? Anything else you want to add? And what is so unique about this case, and why this case is important for as a business student? You should go through this course, accounting course, and that is what this course suggests. Yes, Dheeraj. Dheeraj, please.
So the entrepreneurial ability of the Maria is to be when we talk about this particular case. Generally, when we face job losses in consecutively 2 times in a particular field of web designing, she continued to do that despite the job losses and the risk-taking capacity of the Maria. So the entrepreneurial skills and capabilities must be applauded.
Okay. So you are reading the non-financial part quite well. I want to understand financially how this case is important, or accounting-wise how this case is important. If someone could add value to this, yes. Anyone, please join in, guys, because all of you were supposed to read the case. Aditi, Abhinav, Ayushi Singhvi, please.
Sir, she took 20,000 loan from her father and took all the personal cash that she had to her company's account initially, and he invested a lot of money in equipments, in the rent and various office supplies.
Okay, good. But I mean, why this case is important? Because let me end this discussion here. See, we all know that she has a degree she has taken degree from Massachusetts College of Art. We know that, right? She has worked in 2 jobs and she has lost in last 6 months. That is what the information suggests. Then she thought of starting a business, as someone has pointed out, just to because she believed in her skills and she wanted to start the business. Yes, Abhinav. Yes. Then she thought of starting a business. So how she started the business? She added her money as well as she took a loan from her father and thought of starting the business. But what is so unique about this case is that, when after some time, after 2 months time, I think at the end of August, when her father asked her, what are you doing with this business, how this business is going, she had no clue, because she thought that she had 12,000 when she started the business, and now right now she has 5,400 cash only. But she believes that she is doing a good job as a businessman. I mean, she's getting a lot of clients, referrals, she's earning a lot of money, she believed, but the cash balance did not suggest that. So maybe because she does not have an accounting background, it's alien for her to understand that why suddenly the cash has gone down to 5,400, which was 12,000 when she started the business. So what has happened to this all this cash when she is doing really well? So it points out about a particular concept that we have been discussing, right? And I also told you in the WhatsApp message yesterday that there are certain concepts you should know before coming to the class. The one is accounting periodicity or period concept, matching concept, and accrual concept. So that is very powerful. So we'll continue with this discussion. Other than this, I do not believe that there is any significant information in terms of solving the question from the accounting point of view. You may have a lot of dimensions, but from accounting point of view, it is a very straightforward case. We are going to record these transactions in the accounting equation. I think you can see the accounting equation sheet, all of you. Can you see the sheet?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in the sheet, you can see there is assets equal to equity plus liability. I have already prepared columns for all the assets one could have. And on the other side, equity, this time I have divided into 2 parts, capital and retained earnings. So what she brings as capital goes under capital, and all the revenues and expenses, everything would go under retained earnings. So all the performance is captured through retained earning, and the capital columns talks about the money she is bringing in the business. So we have divided the equity into 2 segments this time. So I'm adding difficulty slowly, gradually, and there is a purpose why I'm doing this, right? Liabilities are 3 types of liabilities are, but anyways, we'll look at it when we solve the question. So this is the accounting equation, and the business starts on July 2nd. Please remember that the business starts on July 2nd, But before she starts, she has to prepare the balance sheet, and that balance sheet is already given. But we need let us prepare. Why don't we prepare also, right? In this equation. So yes, let us start with the fourth paragraph, and someone can help me. The first paragraph, first transaction, or let me ask you. May I ask Amar Raj, if you could help me? How do we record the first transaction? Yes, that is on June 20, 2004, before the business has even started. Please, Amar, can you hear me? Or are you putting something in the chat box? Amar, are you there? Can all of you hear me?
Yes, sir. Actually, his mic is not working.
Okay, he has to put something in the chat box, right? Anyways, Akshat, Darak. Yes, Amar, I understood. Yes, Akshat. Are you there? This is a challenge, right? I mean, we cannot waste time like this. Ayushi Singhvi,
So
maybe.
may
Who is this?
I? So Satakshi.
Satakshi, please continue. Please continue.
So the first transaction was on 20th June. She
Hmm.
transferred all of her saving. That was 30,000 to the bank account. So we'll credit in cash and bank and in the capital part of
Let
the
us not use
equity.
the word debit and credit right now. Let us not use the word debit and credit right now. So, because we
Okay,
are
sir.
following the accounting equation, when the assets are going up, remember the business
Yes, sir.
of Maria is different than her. As that means all the transactions of the business would be recorded in this sheet, not her personal transaction. I am also going to add one more thing. This business is also different than, sir, we have to record in the same manner as your formatting. Yes, that is why I had shared the photo of the template that you could prepare. Please do that for this question. uh, yes, what I was saying. So her father's money is also, so her father is also has nothing to do with this business. So the first concept we are applying is separate entity concept, and we are going to record all these transactions from the viewpoint of this business, Maria Hernandez and Associates, separate than the Maria and her father, right? So first, the
Yes, sir.
cash is coming into the business, as Shatakshi has pointed out. So how much cash, beta?
So $30,000.
30,000 cash has come in the business. So and at the same time, what is going to be the duality of this? Can someone tell me?
So capital.
Capital would go up, so capital column would go up. So when the owner brings 30,000 in the business, the capital goes up, right? So duality match is wonderful, right? Let's look at the second transaction, the same paragraph. The 2 days later, she added 20,000 borrowed from her father to the account in the same bank account, right? And we have common cash in
Yes,
bank
sir.
account. So fine. Let me ask someone else. Sarvepalli, Samuel, please. Samuel, please. I hope Samuel is your name and I'm not reading.
Yes, sir.
Sir, may
Yes,
I?
sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Please, why don't you raise your hand so that I remember that you asked me something? All the students. Samuel will participate now. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Samuel, please. Second transaction about the money she has borrowed from her father. Yes.
So should I read the third or the second transaction?
The second transaction, the loan wala transaction, right? How do we record that before starting the business? Yes, Samuel.
So we will first of all put it in the liabilities column under loan from father.
So we have already a column for this. So loan from father. So taking a loan is a liability. How much? 20,000.
Yes,
And
sir.
please, second effect would be
So second effect would be under capital in assets column.
uh, the capital
Sorry, sir.
account. The capital
So sorry.
account reflects the ownership of the owners, the claim of the owners taking a
Sir,
loan from
under
the father.
borrowings. Sir, borrowings.
So, but a loan from father is borrowings only, right? Loan from father, I can call it borrowings. It's fine. It's a
Yes, sir.
different name given for the same thing. Think about it, beta, Samuel. So when your father gives cash to the business, what happens in the business? Suddenly you have 20,000 cash also in the business. The cash and bank balance goes up, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So once again, see, understand, look at, imagine an empty room, right? So you brought 30,000, so you can say 30,000 is mine. So there is a cash in the building or office which has no stuff in it. 30,000 and you say it is mine. Then you bring 20,000. Your father says this is mine. So your father is a separate entity because he's giving you this as loan. You will call this liability, right? So 50,000 are the resources with the business. 30,000 is the claim of the owners, that is equity, and or also you can say capital. And 20,000 is given by the outsider, that is her father. So you will call that loan from father or borrowings, doesn't matter, right? I hope Samuel you got it.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Yes. Next, someone has raised the question. Vikash Dugar, please help me with that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Vikas.
Sir, after the things moved quickly, she had rented a second floor office for 3,000 month and paying 1 month advance in rent and security deposit to apply the end of the lease around 3,000 for the July 2004.
Okay. Okay.
So the
now, yes.
So the entry would be like prepaid rent account DR and rent in advance account DR to cash.
So you can call it rent in advance. You can say prepaid rent, doesn't matter. It is your asset. At the end of the day, it is your asset. So cash.
Yes.
So because you are paying cash, suddenly cash of 6,000 has gone out of your business. So now in your business, you have 44,000 cash, but
Yes, sir.
that 6,000 is replaced by prepaid rent because you are paying rent in advance. Not 60,000, 60,000, 6,000. So,
Sorry,
yeah.
6,000.
No, that was my mistake. 6,000. Fine. Typing mistake. Yes. So 6,000 is the prepaid rent added and 6,000 cash gone down. That is the duality, right?
Yes.
Now we will have a good discussion on this when we look at the transactions of July and August in some time, right? So please remember this. Now I will ask Vikas what to do with the next transaction, beta. The same paragraph. Abhinav participated or Vikas participated?
Sir, I participated because.
Now Abhinav's turn, please.
Hello.
Please.
Sir, which one? The rent one or the next one?
The rent one is over. The next one in the same paragraph.
Sir, additional equipment and software was purchased for 11,000, half of which is remainder due for 1 month. Sir, so we'll account it like 11,000 in cash.
No, you have gone to the second page.
Asset.
We are on the first page, beta. You are talking about the transactions of July and August. We have not even started discussing that.
Okay.
The first page, the fourth paragraph.
Equipment.
Yes.
I'm missing out.
Okay, Abhinav, you participate next. Shubham Bafna, please.
Yes, sir. She purchased some used computer equipment with software from her last employer and ordered stationery and office equipment that cost 5,000 when they were delivered on June 29.
Okay, yes. So let us focus on the office computer equipment and software part. You have purchased this for cash, I think. Yes. So tell me, what is the duality, beta, and what is the value of this equipment and softwares? The value is not given in the paragraph. The value is given in the table, the balance sheet. If you see, the value is given
27,000.
27,000. Yes. So 27,000 is the cash. So you are purchasing this for cash. So the cash and bank balance would go down by 27,000. At the same time, the equipment and software would go up by 27,000. Right. So that is how it stands. So you suddenly 27,000 has gone out of your business, and you have purchased maybe a computer with software, right? Or maybe a software you require to run this business, right? Or maybe a Photoshop business, a Photoshop application or something. Please mute yourself if you're not talking. Shubham, please, because there is some noise coming from your end, beta. Yes. Anyone else? There is still one more transaction left. Very straightforward transaction. Let me ask Ayushi Singhvi. Ayushi, please.
Sir, this is actually my first class, so I'm kind of lost. I had even emailed you because I had my examinations going on final year.
Yes.
So is it okay if I can just observe this class?
Fine. Ayushi, I have one more request to make. So today I think you have joined. I have mentioned that in the group, and I hope you are in the WhatsApp group. Because
yes,
I was putting down your attendance, I found that your email ID had something missing, I think, if I remember correctly. something was different. So when you log into this class, of course you have followed that. I understand that. But still, if you have not, please make sure that your email ID is properly put, because when I'm capturing your attendance through the Excel formula. So if your email is wrong somehow, I would have to look at your attendance manually. So please, if you could look into it.
So this is my normal Nirma ID only. I'm not using any other ID.
Okay. So maybe for the first 2 sessions you had some other ID. Fine. Yes, anyone else? Akshat, I have asked. Amar is not. Amrita Kumari, please, Amrita, if you could participate, beta. Amrita Kumari Shaw.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
The next
So,
transaction.
yes, next transaction.
Yeah,
Yes.
the next transaction is where she bought office supplies that cost 5,000. So it will in office supply column for 5,000 and the cash will go down by 5,000.
Very straightforward. So you see, why did we do this exercise? Just to see what is the standing of our this business, Maria's business, on before she starts the business, right? She's starting the business on 2nd of July, I think. So what is the standing? So if you look at the balance sheet when she's starting the business, 12,000 cash she has. You can see 27,000 equipment and software she has. Office supplies are 5,000. Account receivables are not there because the business has not even started. So how could you have receivables, right, for related to the business activity? The prepaid rent is 6,000. So the assets are 50,000. So the business has 50,000 cash. Out of that, 30,000 are owned by the owners and 20,000 are borrowed from someone else. So 20,000 belongs to, the claim is of outsiders, her father in this case, right? Everyone is okay with this till this point? Anyone has any question? Because this is very straightforward. In fact, this is a case you could do this on your own also, right? We just could have a discussion for some time, right? Fine. Shall we move on, guys?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So let us go to the second page, because the next page, first paragraph, is just a question that her father asked her that what is happening with your business, and she has no clue, right? She has no clue. So that is why we are kind of helping her record all this transaction and tell her that why the cash has reduced by 5,400 from 12,000. So that is why we are preparing this statement, the balance sheet in the accounting equation format, right? So let us start with the first transaction. The first transaction starts with client's head. So let me ask someone, Brishank Tripathi, please, if you could help me, beta. Brishank. The first
Yes,
transaction.
sir. Am I audible?
Yes. I can hear you. Yes, beta.
Okay. Clients had paid 40,000 for completed work and 2 clients still owed amount of 7,000 for work that had been completed and delivered. There were no projects underway. Office closed on 31st. Sir, then we will increase our cash because we have got 40,000 in cash. All right, and that will be our earning. Retained earning
or our income, and incomes are always increasing equity. And in this
equity. Retained earning.
the equity, yes, equity is divided into capital and retained earnings. Retained earnings reflect incomes and expenses. Incomes are positive, expenses are negative, and that is anyways becomes absorbed by the equity. That is a part of equity, right? So I'm going to add in retained earnings 40,000 plus, of course. So once again, I'm saying that now all these transactions are given that she has recorded for the month of July and August. So we are preparing this balance sheet, or we are preparing this statement, or we are recording these transactions for the month of July and August only. Right? So the first periodicity concept says that all the transactions related to the period should be recorded. So because the focus is on July and August, all the transactions related to the July and August month would be recorded here. So the first was 40,000. Now the second part, please. The same student maybe, or Parag, you can participate. Parag, yes, please. And please.
Yes, sir. Sir, 2 clients still owed a total of rupees 7,000 for work that had been completed and delivered to them. So 7,000 will come under billing credit revenue on the asset side.
On the asset side, it is a asset side. Okay.
It is a kind of accrued income earned but not yet received.
So because of the accrual concept, as you have pointed out, all the incomes and expenses of the period of July and August would be recorded in the month of July and August. So because you may not have received the cash, but it doesn't matter, right? Is it a revenue of
Yes, sir.
July and August? Yes, it is a revenue of July and August. So it should be recorded as revenue in the retained earnings column as an income plus 7,000. I hope everyone is following. And what is the duality of this beta? Please tell me.
So on the billing credit revenue, under the account receivables.
Receivables, because so you have given your services, that is your income. At the same time, 7,000 is due from the customer, so that is accounts receivables. You can also say debtors. Yes. So when the money is due from the customer, the receivables goes up, and at the same time your income also goes up for credit transaction. Anyone has any question, please? I don't think so, right? And no one is okay. Fine. Let me. Why don't you guys raise your hand? Parag, you may mute yourself, beta. Paragjan, you may mute yourself, please. Why don't you raise your hand for this transaction, guys? I had amazing participation in the last class. Please, Vikash Dugar, maybe, or you have participated already.
Yes, sir. I participated.
Please, others, raise your hand. I mean, let
So
us
may
not. Please, Nimesh. Yes, Nimesh.
Sir, the next is that office supplies have been purchased for rupees $900 or $900 to purchase. So cash will reduce by 900 and office supplies will increase by 900.
So I am reducing the cash. So what is happening? You are buying cash. You are buying asset for another asset. So when you are using cash, your cash balance reduces by 900. At the same time, the another asset, that is office supplies, goes up by 900. So it has to match because the plus and minus is on the same side of the equation, right? So one asset is replacing another asset, right? That is how it is. So 900 cash went down, office supplies went up by 900. If no one has question, we can continue. Please help me, Nimesh. I think the second part of the same transaction. Please, Nimesh.
Sir, they said that the office supplies and stationery had a cost of rupees was still, and the initial office supplies of 5,000, they have remaining 4,200 of that.
Okay, so how do we record this? What are we going to do?
We're going to, sir, I'm confused in this one actually.
Fine. Please, anyone participate? Anyone else would like to participate? Please raise your hand. Why others
Sir,
are not
it will depreciate, sir. Depreciation will come into it.
The depreciation word we use only on fixed assets, right? This is a current asset, so let us not use the word depreciation for this question, because this is not reduction in the value of the asset because of wear and tear. This is because of the consumption of the asset, right? So Akshat Darak, please. Yes, Akshat.
Sir, since it is showing that we have 4,200 of stationery in hand, so the total stationery will increase up to 5,900 because we have purchased 900 more, and 4,200 is still in hand, so we will consume of 1,700.
So what I should do, beta? Tell me first, then you can explain, beta. Let me show me the accounting effect, and then we can discuss the logic and everything with the rest of the classmates.
Sir, 1,700 decrease in the stationery supplies.
Okay. So office supplies and stationery, I will minus 1,700. Yes. And what is the second effect?
Earnings, no.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Let's say Nimesh is running a business, right?
Okay.
And let's say Nimesh has purchased 10,000 printing pages.
Okay.
Right. Now, for running his business, Nimesh has used, let's say, 4,000 pages during this period.
Yeah.
What is going to happen with this 4,000 pages that you have consumed?
Sir, it will be paid for
you
that.
have already purchased, so you have paid when you purchased, but understand, you are just consuming right now. You may have purchased this last year, understand. Purchasing is maybe in another period. Please focus what is happening. Can you really run your business without this 1,700 or this 4,000 in your example? Can you really have a business without consuming the office supplies? No. So it is an expense, beta. So the asset is becoming an expense because you are consuming it. It is similar to depreciation. If I'm sitting in this classroom, when I'm if it is a business, understand, if I'm running a coaching class And when let's say I have prepared a classroom where there is an air conditioning system, maybe chairs, tables, and a lot of other fixtures and furniture, right? And I may have purchased 5 years back. But every year when I'm generating revenue or income as a fee in terms of fees from the students, can I ignore what I'm consuming from the classroom? Because without this air conditioning system, we cannot really have a classroom, right? The students would not come. So what I am saying is that I may have paid 50,000 when I equipped my this classroom with the air conditioning system. But every year when I'm consuming this, without this, you cannot earn a revenue. Accrual concept says, matching concept says that the revenue should be matched with the expenses. So revenue should be matched with the expenses that are incurred to earn a revenue. So because you cannot run this business without this 1700 office supplies, it is an expense. So I will minus this from the retained earnings as an expense because it is an expense, right? Anyone
Okay,
has
sir.
any question? Please ask me. Hello, and no one has questions, seriously?
Sir, I have one question.
Please ask me, please
So,
ask me.
so how did we get this 1700?
So I was going to say that, wonderful question. Let's say you have purchased 5,000 office supplies before you started the business, and then you have purchased 900 more. So you have office supplies of 5,900 more, right? So at the end of the period, that is August last day, when you counted the amount of office supplies there in the business, you thought that only 4,200 is left. So that means 1,700 worth of office supplies must have been consumed during this 2 months time. That's why it is an expense, right?
Okay,
so 1,700 is the answer of 50. I had put the answer, but I did not want to give hint to the students. I deleted that. This is how it is calculated. 5,900 is the value of office supplies. Brought down balance, yes, it is the closing balance. It is the balance at the end of the month, August month. So it is like this, beta. You walk into the room. So you walk into the room before you started the business. The inventory was 5,000. Then you added 900, and you walk into the room at the end of the month. Let's say 31st August, right? And you see only 4,200 worth of office supplies. So that means 1,700 worth of office supplies must have been used, and that is the expense. You can imagine the office in this case. Let's say we are running a coaching class, and there is an office which manages everything, right? And this office has office supplies. So when the accountant prepares these statements and value all the assets company has, or see how much worth of assets are left in the business, this office must have used pages and all the office equipments required. Markers maybe in case of coaching institution, dusting cloth or something, right? So if all this has been used, that is an expense because it is not there with the business anymore. It has been consumed. So it is an expense. In simple words, it is an expense. So the expenditure is becoming an expense. If you remember the earlier class, expenditure is becoming an expense. The asset is becoming an expense, right? Yes, ask me a question.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can this not be recorded as a depreciation?
Depreciation is a wrong word we use. Depreciation word we use only for those assets.
Fixed assets.
Fixed assets. In this case, it is the office supplies beta. So it is consumed. The consumption is the right word, right? So in the income statement, what do you know? If you're accounting, coming from accounting background, you record this as office supplies expense or
Yes, sir.
consumption of office supplies. That is the right word. Let us not use the word office supplies, right? Because it is applied. Let us not use the word depreciation because it is applied to
Depreciation.
current assets. Yes. I'm not saying it is
Thank
wrong.
you, sir.
I'm just saying that the selection of word is wrong. That's it. Right?
Okay, sir.
Anyone has any questions, or shall we move on? Shatakshi, do you have any questions, beta?
No, sir.
I'm getting very less participation from your side. I don't know today. Huh, guys, please participate. Let us look at the next transaction. Very important transaction, a bit difficult also, I think, based on the experience I had in the last class, section B class. Yes. How do we record the third transaction? Please tell me. Anyone, please, other than Vikas Dugar? I think Vikas Dugar forgot.
Sir, may I?
Yes, Komal. Please, Komal. Yes.
Rent of 6,000 for August and September was paid in cash. So since we are recording the balance sheet for the month of July and August, so sir, we will record only the rent paid for the August month. That is 3,000 rupees.
No. when I say accrual concept or matching concept, I am not saying that if you have paid cash for the next month or next to next month, you ignore that. The cash would go down by 6,000. So the first effect, I will continue with this. I'm just so
Prepaid
that everyone is clear. You are paying 6,000, so the cash balance in your business has gone down by 6,000. That is clear, right? You have paid 6,000. Now you can complete Komal beta. Now focus on the accrual concept from the income statement point of view. Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
Komal,
So
please.
the next will be the prepaid rent.
How much?
Minus 3,000.
Okay, you are deducting. Why minus 3,000 beta?
So only for the August month.
Okay, then next effect, please.
Um,
Okay, Komal, you think about it. Let me ask someone else. Please, others participate, guys. Please.
So is it going to add in the
Sir, in
advance
the
payment?
Sorry?
prepaid rent, sir. In the
Remember
Advance.
that when we prepare income statement, we follow accrual concept. All the incomes and expenses for the month of July and August would be accounted for. Now, I have prepared, because of the last class, I had to prepare some diagrams. So I have done that here, right? So you see what happened in June. Go back to June before you started the business. You paid 6,000. So you paid 6,000, 3,000 is the rent for the month of July, and the 3,000 is security deposit, and both were treated as 6,000 prepaid rent. Can I say that? Everyone is following this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Sir.
You see, remember, we are preparing the income, we are preparing this statement, we are recording these transactions only for July and August. So this 3,000 rent you paid in advance for the month of July, if you see the cursor, if you see the arrow, right, it becomes an expense for July. Can I say that this arrow, can you see?
Yes, sir.
Right? If you want, I can draw again. It will not take much time. Let me just do it fast so that it is easy to understand. Okay, July, August, September. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So 6,000 is the rent you have paid. You have paid during July and August, and 3,000 you had paid as prepaid rent for the month of July. So, guys, in June, this 3,000 was security deposit, and this 3,000 was prepaid rent, because you had paid that for the month of July and you were still in June, so it was in advance, right? Now 2 months have elapsed, that is July and August. So can I say, let me use the this pen or something. This 3,000 would become expense. Can I say this 3,000 would become expense of July, because now the July month has elapsed? Can I say that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I also say that the 6,000 you have paid, out of that 6,000, 3,000 is for the month of August and 3,000 is for the month of September. And because we are preparing the financial statements for the month of July and August, the expenses and income should be for the month of July and August only, right? So this, out of the 6,000, 3,000 is still asset or becomes a prepaid rent for the month of September, and this 3,000 security deposit is anyways advance. So the total prepaid rent you have is 6,000, and the expense you have is 6,000. So how 6,000 is expense? 3,000 from the month of June, which becomes expense, and 3,000 from this 6,000 you paid for including the payment for the September month. So the prepaid rent column should not really change. Why? Because 3,000 would be deducted and 3,000 would be added. Similarly, for the month of July and August, the expense is 6,000. Please ask me a question if you have any, please. I hope this makes it clear, but still, please ask.
Can you explain again, sir?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Can I say, guys, in the month of June, you have paid 6,000 rent, right? Total 6,000 rent you have paid, right? All of you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
3,000 is security deposit, 3,000 is the prepaid rent. So tell me, out of this 6,000, this 3,000 would become expense of July. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Out of the 6,000 that you have paid, which is a rent for August and September. Please keep yourself on mute because some background noise is coming. Out of the 6,000 that you have paid, the third transaction, out of the 6,000, 3,000 belongs to the month of August and 3,000 belongs to the month of September. So can I say 3,000 is expense from this and 3,000 coming from the June month payment? So can I say that total expense is 6,000? Can I say that?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
So the total expense for the month of July and August is 6,000. 3,000 is the expense which was paid in June, the prepaid rent of June, and 3,000 you have 6,000 you have paid during July and August, but only 3,000 is expense because 3,000 is paid in advance for the month of September. And anyways, this 3,000 security deposit is lying as a set as a prepaid rent, right? Because it is a security deposit, right? So what happens in this statement, I will just show the mathematical part that I have to undraw this. Yes. So out of this 6,000, 3,000 becomes an expense. So the asset has been reduced. But again, 3,000 would be added because in August and in July and August, you are paying 3,000 in advance for the month of September. So the net effect is zero. Why? Because the prepaid rent would reduce by 3,000 and again would be added by 3,000. So the net effect is zero. That's why prepaid rent account would not really change. So this 6,000, this prepaid rent 6,000 balance is coming from two factors. 3,000 which you had paid a security deposit and 3,000 is the advance you have paid during July and August, right? And what about the expense, right? Let us focus on the expense part, which is going to be recorded.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, 1 minute. Sir, you said that the 3,000 that is left in there is the advance, and the remaining 3,000 is that that payment that is going to be made in September, right?
That is going to be that you have paid right now, but that is for the
But
month
that will
of
be applied
September.
in September.
Yes, because of accrual concept. What is accrual concept and matching concept saying? That we record the transactions for the month we are preparing the statement. So if you are preparing the statement for the month of July and August, all the expenses and incomes of the month of July and August should be recorded. Now, if I pay you something in advance, beta, it is not the expense of August, it is the expense of September. So if I could simplify this, you have paid 6,000 in July and August in total, but 3,000 is for the month of September. So only 3,000 would be taken as expense from this 6,000. And the prepaid rent which you had already paid in June, which was paid in advance, but it becomes an expense of this month because it is applied for the month of July, right? Are you able to follow this? All of you able to follow this now?
Yes,
sir.
So the expense is 6,000. I am deducting retained earnings 6,000. How this 6,000 expense came? Rent of July and rent of August 6,000 because it is for the month of July and August. And how prepaid rent effect is zero because out of the 6,000, 3,000 becomes expense. But again, you have paid 1 month rent in advance, so 3,000 again added. So the net effect in the prepaid rent account is still zero, and the balance is still 6,000, which is made up of 3,000 security deposit and the 3,000 you paid for September. I hope this is clear now because I hope I have put enough efforts to convey this. Right,
Yes.
guys? Please. Sure, guys. We can still discuss.
Sir.
Yes. Please ask me.
Sir,
Yes, ask
you
me.
that the zero we got. Sir, then what? That minus 3,000 for what and plus 3,000 for what?
How the 6,000 is made up of, beta? This 6,000 that I have highlighted with my cursor or this cell I selected. How the 6,000 is made up of, beta?
So that we have paid advance of for the month of September.
No, this 6,000 you see, that is the opening balance sheet before July, before we started the business. This 6,000 is made up of what? If you look at the first page, 3,000 is the security deposit and 3,000 is the rent of July.
Yes, correct.
अब ये तो हम लोग जुलाई और अगस्त का बना रहे हैं बेटा, ठीक है ना? हाँ, अब जुलाई और अगस्त का बना रहे हैं तो 6,000 में से 3,000 तो एक्सपेंस हो गया ना, क्योंकि जुलाई महीना इलैप्स हो गया, जुलाई महीना पास हो गया, तो 6,000 prepaid rent was there in the month of beginning of July, right? But when the July month has passed, out of the 6,000, 3,000 becomes the expense. So you will minus you will reduce the asset by 3,000, but at the same time, again, you are paying in advance for the month of September. So 3,000 is again added. So that's why it is still 6,000. You can write this in your notebook that's why it is 6,000 only, right? And second effect is expense. How much is expense? Expense is only 6,000. Why? Because we are preparing the statement for the month of July and August. What is the rent for July and August? 6,000. 3,000 plus 3,000. It's simple math, right? So 6,000 is there, right? What I will do now, because I don't know how do I explain, draw this properly on this computer. So if you still have questions on this, please reply on the group, WhatsApp group. I will do something in the notebook because it is easier to do it in the notebook, and I will again create a picture or something so that visually it is easier to understand, right? Right. But I hope this is, now somewhat you have idea what has happened, right? Right?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So guys, so for the last time I'm repeating, the prepaid rent was 6,000. Out of that, 3,000 becomes the expense because the July month has passed. It was prepaid in the month of June, but not in July, right? So it has become expense. So 3,000 is reduced from prepaid rent. And because you are also paying rent for the month of September, when you pay 6,000, 3,000 is prepaid rent for September. So the effect is zero because you reduce the asset prepaid rent by 3,000 and then again you add by 3,000. So that effect is zero. How much expense is there? The expense is 6,000, right? How do you know that expense is 6,000? What is the rent for July? What is the rent for August? 3,000, 3,000. So the expense is 6,000. Period cost. This is a classical example of period cost. Doesn't matter how many students are sitting in the classroom in the coaching class. Doesn't matter whether you have 100 students or 500 students or 0 students, the rent is always same. It has nothing to do with how many customers are visiting, how many students are joining the college or coaching class. Period cost. It has everything to do with the period. The cost is attached with the period, not with the output or not with the service you are providing, right? Next is utility repairs and salaries. Very simple transaction. Please tell me. Anyone please participate.
33,000 was paid in cash. So 33,000 was deducted from cash and
Yes. Next, beta.
Sir, and expenses will be increased by 33,000.
So expenses increase. So expenses, when expenses increase, that is there with the negative sign, right?
Yes, sir.
Because incomes are increasing retained earnings, expenses are reducing retained earnings, right? So wonderful.
Yes,
I think thank you for completing that bit. The next transaction, please. Let me ask. Yes.
Sir, can I?
Because yes. So both of you will participate one by one, and I don't want to select name. You can start on your. You can manage on your.
Sir, software and equipment will be debited by 11,000. And 5,500 will be deducted from the cash column.
55. So guys, you are purchasing additional computer and software worth of $11,000. So your assets would go up by 11,000, but you are only paying cash 5,500, right?
Yes, sir.
You received the asset of 11,000. You paid 5,500. What is the duality? How the duality would get completed?
And sir, creditors will be increased by 5,500.
So creditors would go up. So there is a column for that. Payables for equipment 5,500. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Would go up by 5,500. Duality is completed. I lost my connection, Ritu. Sir, cash and returns will be reduced by 30,000. Yes, Ritu. When you are paying expenses, the cash goes down, and because it is an expense, expenses reduces equity. So retained earnings reflects incomes and expenses. Expenses would be deducted from retained earnings. Wonderful, beta. Yes, fine, beta. That we all are adjusting to right now, network issues and everything. Yes. Now, last two transactions are left. I want someone to read and help me also. So anyone can intervene or anyone can help me. Deepika, maybe Deepika Gadi, if I may request you, beta. Deepika Gadvi, please. Are you there, Deepika?
May I, sir? May I?
Is it Deepika?
So she
Vikas.
is having some connection problems. She messaged in the group.
Yes, yes. Who is there? Yash Gupta. Yes, Yash. Carry Vikash or yes, whoever. Yes.
Yes, sir. May I?
Yes, 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 please.
Sir, she has agreed to pay father's interest his loan on 6% a year, but no interest has been paid so far. Sir, so that the owner only committed to pay interest, but no interest has been paid. So there is a no entry, I think so.
Okay, good attempt. Good attempt. Very good, Vikash. Satakshi has something to share. Yes, Satakshi.
Sir, since there was an agreement to pay the 6%, even if she did not agree, it is required by law, and she should. We have to do the accrued interest. We have to calculate that.
So it is a accrual concept. Remember, her
Yes, sir.
father is different than the business, as Satakshi has pointed out. So you may not have paid it, but have you used the money in the month of July and August? Yes. For using the money, you pay interest. So interest is an expense, because without this borrowing, you cannot run the business. Accrual concept says, and matching concept also adds that all the expenses incurred to earn the revenue and income should be matched. So in this case, you cannot run your business without the loan. So it is an expense, accrual concept. Yes, someone has a question, please ask me.
Okay, sir, we can say that this is the outstanding cost, outstanding interest.
So yes, this is outstanding or unpaid, accrued interest or unpaid. I'm
I
not using
interpreted
the
it
word.
wrongly, sir.
No, that is fine, but you should not use the word outstanding right now, because there is a concept of accrued and due in accounting. I don't want to drag that too much, but fine. But at this level, because you have just been introduced to accounting, it's fine. But outstanding से ज़्यादा अच्छा word है accrued interest on loan, father's loan, right?
Okay,
So
sir.
yes, interest is 20. The loan you have taken is 20,000. The 6% interest is applied for 1 year, but you are preparing the statements for only 2 months. So how much expense is there for 2 months? 20,000 into 6% into 2 by 12.
200, sir.
That comes to,
Sir,
yes,
200.
that comes to 200. So interest is an expense. So I will deduct this from the revenue, that is retained earnings. And because you have not paid this, you will create another liability called accrued interest on father's loan. So the duality got completed. Your expenses went up or your income went down minus. At the same time, your liability went up by 200. Right? So this is because of accrual concept. Irrespective of cash is received or paid, you record the transaction if it is for that period. If all the necessary things have been satisfied for the transaction, it has to be recorded as an expense or income, right? So last transaction, if someone could help me, second transaction after the paragraph, equipment and software wala, please. Yes, please. No one wants to participate seriously?
Sir, I'm having a doubt.
Ask me, yes.
So before that, it is written as Maria Hernandez thought about the first 2 months operation. She was perplexed by the fact that cash in the bank had decreased by 5400, even though she was sure the business was operating profitably.
So
So,
that
sir,
is
what
why
was that 5400?
that I'm going to discuss in a moment better. Thank you for raising that question, Komal. We are going to discuss that. In fact, that is why we are preparing this. We are helping her to understand this. Good question, Beta.
Okay.
Last transaction, please. Then we can have a
Sir,
discussion.
in the last, in the
Sir.
last transaction, it talks about the depreciation of the office equipments.
Yes. Can you really have a just the same example, coaching class? Can you really have a classroom and income without the fixed assets you have in the classroom? ACs, chairs, tables, etc. No, you cannot have. So when you are using the asset has a life, and every year or every period when you generate income, you are consuming that asset. So the value of the asset goes down because you are using that asset because of wear and tear, right? And because the life of this equipment and software is around 3 years. Now I know you can argue that it may be more than 3 years, but that is the industry policy that generally the computers last for 3 years, or generally the software support is only for 3 years, right? Let us live with that. So 27,000 is the value of the asset for 3 years. We are preparing this for only 2 months. So 27,000 divided by 3 years, so you get an annual depreciation into 2 by 12 is the 2 months depreciation. So that is an expense. So I will minus that from the expense column. How much? Please someone help me. Is it 1500?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So 1500 has gone down and the value of the asset has also gone down, you see. So the value of office equipment, equipment and software has gone down by 1500, and the value in the retained earnings column has gone down by 1500. Now someone had asked in the last class, yes sir, why have we not applied the depreciation on 11,000 only on 27,000, because now you have asset of 38,000, not 27,000. The answer is, you have just purchased the asset before you complete this August month, right? 27th August. So we are applying the materiality concept, that the value is not that material. 3 days are not that material. The value is not that material. That's why we are not recording this in the month of, we are not recording the depreciation for this 11,000 for 5 days or 3 days or 4 days, whatever you calculate, right? So we are ignoring this 11,000 because of materiality concept, because 3 days are fine when you are running a business. Now, if you really want to be absolutely fine, you can do that manually. If you want to do that, that is not wrong. That you apply 27, you apply 2 months depreciation on 27,000 and 5 days rent on 11,000. I am absolutely fine with that, right? But my logic is materiality concept. The value is not that material that you are wasting so much of your time in calculating the right figure. Anyways, it is based on estimation that the asset would be used for 3 years. So there is an estimate, there is an assumption. So let us not drag this too much, right? Let us not think too much on this 5 days, right? So guys, I think I'm just, let me see my total is matching. Yeah. So if I look at the equation, the value of the equation at the end of August after recording all this transaction is like this: 60,300 is matching. So I have cash of 6,600. I have equipments and softwares of 36,500. I have office supplies of 4,200. I have accounts payable 7,000. I have prepaid and 6,000. On the other side, I have capital and 4,600 retained earnings. So this is owner's equity, or equity belongs to the owner, and 25,700 belongs to the outsider. So when I have resources of 60,300, 34,600 belongs to the owners, and 25,700 belongs to the outsider's liability, right? Now I have prepared a balance sheet and income statement just to give you a glimpse what happens. All the assets are transferred to the asset side of the balance sheet, and they are classified now: non-current asset and current assets. So all the non-current assets which are not going to be converted into cash within 1 year time are non-current assets, and the assets which will change form within 1 year time are current assets. I have shifted their balances in the respective columns for assets and that is non-current assets as well as current assets. Equity is transferred on the other side, that is liability and equity side, capital plus retained earnings. And again, I have classified the liability into non-current liability and current liability. So the liabilities which are within 1 year time are current liability, and the loan you have taken, I don't think you are going to repay in 1 year time. So it is a non-current liability, right? So that's why the total is matching. And let us look at the performance. The performance says that during the year you have income of 47,000 from your services, that is 40,000 plus 7,000, 47,000 total income. So 40,000 is received in cash, 7,000 is not received in cash, but still it is income, accrual concept. All the expenses for the month of July and August are recorded: rent, salary expenses, interest on loan, depreciation expense, consumption of supplies, all that I have transferred. So the total expenses are 42,400. Income is 47,000. My net profit is 4,600. So my performance is 4,600. That is how we do it, right? In the next class, we are going to discuss Camelite Incorporation. Please come prepared. If you have any questions, please ask me. Someone may have a question that why assets are on the left hand side and liabilities and equities are on the right hand side. That's fine. In America, anyways, they write asset on left hand side. That is just for simplicity and just to show you like this. Nowadays, anyways, we prepare balance sheet and income statement vertically, right? So fine. Please ask me questions. So we have 3 more minutes. Hello.
Sir, in the second question, you had asked in the case, how would you report the status of the business on August 31st, 2004?
Yes. So Which question? Sorry, which question? Sorry. How would you report the status? This is the status. This is the balance sheet. Is the status. Balance sheet is the status statement. Balance sheet is also called position, and the performance is the income statement. Cash flow statement I'm not discussing because for cash flow statement we are going to discuss another case. Now the another question. I think someone had asked that. So what about this 5400 wala paragraph? Understand? You had 12,000 cash. Now you have 6,600 cash. So she had a question, why suddenly the cash has gone down by 5,400? Because of all this transaction. That is the answer, beta. The answer is this, because you have received income during the period and you have also incurred expenses, right? And why the cash has not gone up? Because you also have a revenue which is not received yet. The money hasn't been received yet. That's why. So all this is the accumulation why the balance is only 6,600, or you can say 5,400 less. That is the answer to this question. We are preparing this to explain her this only, that because in accounting we follow accrual concept, and when we follow accrual concept, sometimes even when we have received even when we have earned income, we may not have received it, but we record it as income. So income may go up, but the profit or the cash may not go up. Second, there may be a lot of expenses which may have been paid in cash. There may be a lot of expenses which may not have been paid in cash. So your cash may look more because expenses are not paid. So that's the problem with accounting and cash. Yes. I think this answers your question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. So I think, are we done with this? Any questions you have on this?
So will you send this PPT?
Yes, yes. I will talk to the other faculty and I will come back to you, because I cannot share with only one batch, two sections. So I will share with the entire 4 sections. So if sir allows me, I will definitely share. And anyways, I'm going to share. My plan is to share, but I will talk to him before I share. You can take the snap in the meantime if you want. Huh?
Yes.
I will zoom it so that you can see. Let me just do something. Can you see the entire screen, or some part is missing? Guys, can you see the entire screen, or some part is missing?
Yes, sir. And the entire
Yes,
screen.
sir, we can see.
Okay, because the pop-up windows are there on my screen. That's why I am only sharing Excel. That's why those pop-up windows would not be appearing to you. Right? Fine. Let me also share with you the income statement and balance sheet. If you want to take the snap. In Windows, there is a snipping tool. So you can take the snapshot without using mobile phone. I know you would know this, but I'm just thought of sharing with you. Snipping tool is a small tool for grabbing the screen or the selected part of the screen. So you can use that as well. So 20 shall I end the session, because I have another class, another subject. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Sejal.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes, we will definitely meet very soon. I think, guys, we are going to meet on Monday. We have session on Monday. So don't forget and come prepared with the case, huh?
Yes.
Sir, could you please tell the syllabus for the quiz?
Whatever we have covered till date. That is how it is. Sorry. Yeah, because all the sections are told, that's why that is how. But don't worry, paper would not be that difficult. Like, you don't get scared or something. Paper would be easier.
The quiz will be.
It will be objective type questions.
Mostly. I will not commit right now. And quiz would be of. You would not get a window of more than 15 minutes. The quiz would be of 10 minutes, I think, and you would not have a window of more than 15 minutes.
And so, how many questions?
That I will not be able to say right now. If the moment I talk with the other faculty, I will share that with you in the group, right? Or I'll mail you all the 4 sections. Huh?
Sir,
Yes,
the
sir.
quiz will be during the class or after the class?
Sorry? Sorry?
The quiz will be during the class or after the class?
Probably after the class, but I'll talk to the faculty, because Monday only we have class. The section C and D does not have a class. My class I was on leave on Wednesday. That's why my class got postponed, right? So not because during the class. Definitely not during the class. Okay, thank you.
Sir, okay.
Yes,
Sir,
yes, please
I have
ask
a
me.
question. Sir, you are my individual mentor, actually. So So I have to fill this Menti form. So there's this section in this type of difficulty phase. Do I have to fill that up right now or later on?
You can you can write. I think you can mention and right now. It's fine.
But sir, right now I don't really have any of these problems because we
So
haven't.
you don't mention none of the problems you have. You mentioned that is me. There is no
Okay, sir.
problem. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can always chat. You have my this WhatsApp number. You can chat in case anyone has any questions. Thank you. Bye.
Thank
I'm
you,
ending.
sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I will have to end the meeting because I have another
Yes,
class.
thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Yes.
Thank you.